Hello, Benjamin. And this weird suggestion that...
Instant points! Right. She planned that. That's okay. We accept that here. We accept doggo points. You get some free doggo points, but no more. Just like 2 of them. Unless you give me 2 doggos, you'll get like 10 points, alright?
Usually my policy for, like, addressing drama is...
I kind of want to hear...
that most of the time, people
all the sides on this.
Aren't actually asking you questions or engaging with you in any sincere way. Like, they don't actually want the answers to the questions that they're asking. They're just mad at you and want to be mad at you. So no matter what you say, it will only make it, like, perpetuate. It won't actually stop any of it. At least that's the attitudes of, like, most internet drama that people have tried to drag me into. Is like, the people are just mad. They want to be mad. They don't care what you have to say. They just want to be madder. So no matter what you say, they'll find a way to be mad about it, right? And this is still one of those situations for sure. But I've seen people be a little bit confused. So I spoke about it briefly on stream, but let me address it here. I am not going to go out of my way to, you know, cover the situation effectively. There are so many YouTube channels that have already done that very, very extensively. But to catch anyone up to speed, somebody that I've made content with before, Gerard, who also goes by The Completionist, has a charity called Open Hand, which was intended to raise money for dementia research. And he runs a annual sort of streaming event where they showcase a bunch of indie games, and funds raised were going to Open Hand. And I've been a part of Indie Land every single year except for this last year, I think. That it's something that, frankly, anytime any friend asks me to do any charity thing, I will always say yes as long as my schedule allows it. Literally 100% of the time. Maybe that's naive, I don't know. But it recently came out that none of the funds that were given to the Open Hand charity had been donated to any of the dementia research outlets that they said that they were. They would
she was invited to the charity event just as much as anyone else
very regularly. I honestly have no idea why you would do that. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know if Gerard spoke on that or if any of the other YouTube channels that have covered the situation have covered any of that. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. The only time that I've ever been delayed on donating money to charity is if the person that raised the money, like both of my merch runs were for charity, I have to wait to get the money from the person who sold the merch first. That's the only reason it would take me some time. Which, as an aside, let me just rant real quick about something here, okay? It's such a dumb thing with, like, internet charity culture where I announce a merch run and people like, sure, you're going to donate it to charity, even though I literally always have. And then you donate it and you post a screenshot of the donation and people accuse you of bragging. It's crazy. Like, you do it for attention.
People, here's the thing. You have to understand. It's... That's, like, the internet is always, like, I don't get it either. I'll be honest, I don't get it either. But some people just, no matter what you do, look at Mr. Beast, no matter what you do, they just want to, they just want to shit on you. There's no reason for it. They just want any small, minute thing they could possibly get to just trash on you. That's just what they want to do.
Or whatever, but like what? But how will people know that I donated it unless I post about it? Or how do people know to donate unless you ask them to?
It's the logical thing to do.
Charity work you do. It's so fucking stupid that, like, we've made charity.
It's because they I guess they assume that you're somehow trying to take credit for, like, that money in particular, when it's like, no, it's just evidence that I donated the money.
This really,
but I helped raise. Like, what do you do? What do you mean?
Again, that's an aside, not relevant to this situation. So what's
like? I'm sure the people who actually donated money. That's the thing. I guarantee you, none of the people who complained donated money. The people who actually donated money were probably ecstatic to see that you donated the money.
That I'm taking the time to address is mostly disingenuous, and I know that the account that has been largely perpetuating this has been banned.
I don't know what that logic is on the internet.
Also were posting deepfake porn of me, which gives you the kind of indication of how they feel about me as a person and why they were trying to do this. But essentially there is a clip that people have been posting of me in Indie Land pretty aggressively asking people to donate, and there's plenty of clips, I'm sure. You know, if you went through every Indie Land of me saying, please donate, all the money goes to dementia research, I'm sure that there are tons of examples of me saying that, because I didn't know that the money was being held. Hello, Benjamin. And this weird suggestion that...
Instant points! Right. She planned that. That's okay. We accept that here. We accept doggo points. You get some free doggo points, but no more. Just like 2 of them. Unless you give me 2 doggos, you'll get like 10 points. All right, but calm down. No, okay, I get that. No, that's embarrassing. That is such an awkward situation to be in, because it's like, I'm sure she had probably absolutely zero control. It sounds like she was just invited to the thing. And it's like a cause that somebody you trust is doing. So she probably was like going 110%, you know? Asking for donations. She's like putting her face, you know, that's messed up. That's gotta feel so...
come up that I somehow knew, I think is pretty absurd.
She must feel like garbage. How would I ever have
known? And I can understand.
And she shouldn't blame herself, because how would she have known that Gerard never donated the money? But I can see myself, like, if I was in that position, I would probably be ragging on myself for days, dude.
Giving criticism for maybe the charities that I choose to work with, or like not vetting them correctly, and that is certainly a minefield. I've actually become pretty cynical over the last however many years of trying to work closely with charities, because a lot of them are not directing funds in the right place. There are some that donate almost nothing, and all of their money goes to operating costs, and it's actually really gross. Like, there are a lot of charities that are extremely exploitative. The good news come out of all this drama is, of course, that the $600,000
I'm trying to pause this stupid
did get donated to dementia research. In the end, they weren't just...
you, like, the freaking search bar was freaking glitching out. YouTube's like, stop using Opera, go back to Chrome. We don't like this. I was trying to make a point here. What was I saying?
There are a lot of charities that are extremely exploitative. The good
news, have to admit,
come out of all this drama is, of course, that the $600,000
I have been hearing about operating costs being such a huge problem for a lot of these YouTube organizations, and honestly, it's gotten... that's one of the reasons why I want to do a lot more research into it before I start doing any of this. Because it's like, at a certain point, it's like, it genuinely is Mr. Beast being the only good charitable organization to a certain degree.
Research, in the end, they weren't just keeping it.
I'm not saying that that's the case, right?
I'm thankful for the people who effectively good organizations out there for pushing that to happen. As somebody who was a part of Indieland and only did that with my own time, which, by the way, they did not pay me. That was the thing that people were also accusing me of. I even paid for my own Ubers. Like, they didn't cover me.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody who was invited to Indieland,
and frankly, I always say no to accept.
I don't think anybody involved in Indieland was paid, right? Because that's all charity. They were donating their time.
Charity anyway. Even if I'm doing something and my co-hosts don't donate the money, I will always donate it. It just doesn't feel right to me personally. But for everyone who has brought this up, the good news is the money got donated. Like, that's fantastic. Crazy.
Not all of it, but yes.
Require this for that to happen. Again, I don't know why you would hold money. It doesn't make sense to me. But yes, there are clips of me basically like aggressively telling people to donate and very confidently saying that money went to dementia research. And yeah, I didn't know. So to give some context of why people are suggesting this for anyone who might be curious, I've said this publicly, which is how people know they found.
I'm gonna say it right now. This is literally just all the people that hate you for like no good reason. They saw a thin string that they could pull on, and that's all this is.
It through streams. Gerard's brother owns
but I'm glad she's like
visa,
bringing it up so people just leave her alone.
Honestly,
well, because the best that she can, right?
And because of that, people have taken it
They're not gonna stop
as
trying to freaking
an employee of their video entertainment company, which technically I was. So I think I knew Gerard before they took on my visa, but it helped me so much because them taking my visa meant that I was allowed to do more work. Like, before that happened, I worked for Rooster Teeth. I wasn't allowed to make money on YouTube or Twitch or any of that. Like, because of the way
why is it that the more I find out about Rooster Teeth,
visas work, you can only make money through your one employer. So when they took my visa, which just happened through, I think my manager knew him and knew that he was a guy who'd be willing to do that.
Oh, was that only because... Is that because of your visa, or is that because of Rooster Teeth? That's a whole other... I'm not going to get into that then.
He takes 5% of income from me. He's currently not taking 5% from everything. He's taking 5% from my actual job. But basically, the visa allowed me to make money from the internet and work for other companies where beforehand I was like only allowed to work at IGN or only allowed to work at Rooster Teeth, and anything that I made from YouTube or Twitch or whatever, which I don't think I was even doing back then, to be fair, but I wasn't partnered on Twitch, but my YouTube income all went to Rooster Teeth, and then they took a cut and then they would pay me, which is such an exploitative, shitty system. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Because that's the way the visas work. You can only earn income from the person who owns your visa. So when this company took over,
I wonder if Gavin was doing the same thing then.
My visa, it meant that
well, how does that situation
work? All my money still went to them, but they were
he had his own channel, right?
And I was able to work for more different companies and do like different sponsorships, which I wasn't allowed to do on a visa because they would have to sponsor Rooster Teeth first, if that made sense. It's an annoying mess. So that made people draw a connection that I am like some sort of like full-time employee of that company, Tove, which I'm absolutely not. They own my visa. They helped me get my green card. It's very, very, very helpful for me. And I've been very open about it and said that that's a thing. But Tove and OpenHand are not the same thing. They're not the same organization. So Tove is the company that, again, owned my visa, allowed me to work more freely in exchange for 5% of my income. And then OpenHand is like, yes, I think technically the same family runs that, but like I never had anything to do in any capacity with OpenHand whatsoever. The exchange was literally, you get me a visa, you get 5% of my income for as long as I'm on that visa. That was the...
Yeah, see, that starts to get into the whole, like, Twitch is owned by Amazon, owned by Jeff Bezos, owned, you know, Xbox now owns Blizzard, Activision, because Activision is owned by Blizzard, and King is also owned by Blizzard, you know, like, it starts to get into, like, companies, and the CEO of this place is technically has nothing to do with the other place, but they're a family, you gotta get, you know, it sucks. This freaking blows that she's gotta deal with all this BS. And for what? This has nothing to do with her. She's not in charge. She's not like the accountant for the freaking Open Hand Foundation. That's all she needs to explain.
So yeah,
this is just a bunch of people giving her.
I would know more. Like, I don't know the ins
just
and outs
because they look for any excuse.
Tove. I don't know who else is employed by Tove. I don't know any of their finances. I don't have any input. I'm not like on a board there, which is like a thing people have drawn. They just had my visa because I needed somebody to take my visa. Like that's it. And I, in no other capacity, ever did any work for them. Like I never did any work for them at all. I don't even know what that would be. Like maybe it's like Gerard's editors. I literally don't know. I just know they got me a visa in exchange for income, right? And that's where like I saw some people who weren't being disingenuous and just trying to get mad at me get like confused and be like, wait, she works for them? Why do we not know about this? People who seemed like they were being genuine got confused there. And I, of course, had absolutely no idea that any of the money that was going to OpenHand was not being donated. You could totally...
Bro, that's gotta suck that there's so many... that there's like clips, I should say,
like I said,
virtually of her like aggressively asking for donations.
Charity work.
That is so embarrassing.
That kind of shit is like, I don't think that I deserve a public platform more than anybody else does. And if I have one, then I think
that reminds me of like one time when I went to this like soccer tournament, like to because like I won this like soccer trophy, and I went to like this place where they like give out the trophies for like soccer events and like teams, because I was gonna go there to get my trophy, right? And so then I go there and I got bored of like the ceremony because like, you know, because like they got the guy that goes up there and like has to give a speech and tell all the parents that, you know, that they're that all the money they donated went to something other than his yacht, you know, and then they gotta give a bunch of plastic awards to a bunch of nobodies that don't matter before they get to my name. And so, you know, of course I got bored, so I went to the bathroom with my friend, and we just were like, you know, we were bored, we didn't know what to do, so we obviously started grabbing all the toilet paper and stuffing all the toilets and sinks, because that's just the most logical thing you would do at the ripe old age of about I was maybe 12. So, of course, after flooding this bathroom, you know, obviously some stuff occurs, and we get in trouble, and my mom shows up, and this dude's like, you know, they flooded the bathroom, and she's like, no, he didn't, no, he didn't, no, he did not, and, you know, she goes all mama lying on him, and of course, you know, a couple hours later, you know, after the storm is settled, and we got out of there, and, you know, I'm not allowed there anymore, whatever, my mom's like, you know, obviously, you know, she's like, you know, I know damn well you did that, didn't you? And I'm like, no, what? How dare you? She's like, I swear, If you did it, you better tell me. Otherwise, I'm gonna freaking, like, if you make me lie for you, like, I am over here making a fool out of myself for you. You better tell me the truth.
If I'm not using
that's gotta be annoying,
to try to do something good, what am I doing? That's how I am even comfortable existing on the internet, and that's why charity is a big part of what I do, and it motivates a lot of what I do. And yeah, I didn't check the financial records of a friend's charity. I didn't look. I'm sure this video seems like nonsense to most people, but I wanted to put it out there anyway. Again,
well, who the heck would assume? Like, no, I feel like not, like, who would assume that Gerard was holding on to 10 years worth of money?
Not a drama channel. I don't have a lot to say other than, don't know why you wouldn't donate $600,000. It's very confusing.
Subscribe and
also
like.
don't know why, like,
please like and subscribe to our channel as well, my dudes.
Like, why not tell people? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that sucks. That she's catching, like, strays for all this. Ayoo, be sure to join the crew. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And hey, if you like that video, you should check out this stuff.